Well, good evening, good day, whatever it is, maybe good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to this Wednesday session. It's going to be very casual this time, very minimalist, and it's really an introduction to Holy Well's Weekly Echo. And today is Wednesday, 23rd of November, 2022. I don't have a theme tune that I'm running today, but thank you anyway for joining me. I didn't know where I would be this evening, so my intent was all week to be a casual episode. And I thought I might be at Claire's. I didn't know where I would be. I actually just a few minutes ago got back home here to Lister down and then quickly set up some lights and a bit of a Wells backcloth there. And so I'll roll with it. I haven't got any photos or great stories today, but the intent of this evening or daytime, wherever you are, is a casual episode. And I'm going to introduce you to a new broadcasting series that I'm calling Holy Well's Weekly Echo. It's a longer title than I've been using, and I'll explain why as I go along. Anyway, any early birds here? I see there's a few people coming on board. I don't think there's any comments yet saying hello, so I'll come back to you with any of the comments you might be saying very soon. Anyway, to get on with the show, the little show that it is going to be this time, I paused Nature Folklore broadcast a few weeks ago, so that the idea was to complete and release 4 Nature Folklore series of books, and one for each season. And I wasn't getting anywhere with them when I was doing a regular Nature Folklore broadcast. And I'm kind of a little bit slow now, so I've had to change things around. I continued Holy Well's Revival on these Wednesday evenings because that required a lot less work than the Nature Folklore episodes did, less work to compile and broadcast. But unfortunately, the live viewing figures were not great. The actual live ones, the people watching afterwards, fantastic. So that's what's beautifully happened, is people viewing the archived videos of both Nature Folklore and Holy Well's Revival. It's been amazing the last week. People that have been looking at really not just the last week or two, but they've been going right through the catalogue and asking questions more than ever. So I'm very pleased with that. But the actual watching numbers on a Wednesday evening hasn't been that great. So I thought, if they like the videos and people watching prefer the videos to the live shows, then why am I live broadcasting those subjects? And also another reason for making adjustments, there are personal health issues to adjust to too. And not only with myself now, but Claire's just into a bit of health rehab herself after some bad luck health matters. So we're actually a bit of a Darby and Joan, helping each other along as best as we can at the moment. So now I got, it's typical, I got some pausing going on. Some weird stuff going on with this broadcasting already. So I don't really know what's sorry, excuse me while I get computer things going here. I don't know. There's something really weird going on here. Anyway, let's go. As I say, we're very Darby and Joanish, and I look forward to continuing to host what's going to be a Wednesday. I'm still going to do live on Wednesdays, but it's going to be a shorter live broadcast. There should be a lot less effort to prepare, and this is going to be Holy Well's Weekly Echo. And recently, the reason I'm doing this is people have been not only watching the past videos, which I'm very thrilled about, people have been sending me lots more news about deeds at their local holy wells around Ireland, around UK, Scotland, England, Wales, and also in parts of Europe as well. And also around sacred water areas and spaces, sanctuaries, water sanctuaries around North America. So that's where the word echoes being used now. Excuse me, man. It got into the title because what I'm really going to be doing on a Wednesday evening is actually echoing what's going on with holy wells and sacred springs from the information that people have been sending me. And also echoes of the nature folklore of the landscape that is around these water areas. So this will be less time for me to prepare and more time for me to get on with nature folklore, get the book sorting, get them out. It's really great fun actually putting them together. So I'm making some progress with that, which is great. And also, I think you'll find these live sessions under the Holy Wells Weekly Echo should be actually a bit more interesting. It'd be more like a live show, whereas the subjects I've been doing with Holy Well Revival, they really are video subjects. So it should be almost television-ish. And I'm actually going to move to 8 p.m. I'm 7 p.m. Irish time. It'll be 7 p.m. Irish time next Wednesday. I'll tell you why in a moment. Then after them, from 6th of December, 8 p.m. And I'm going to try and max at 30 minutes for each broadcast from then. Now, one additional feature that I'm adding, because we have poets, we have guest poets, we have guest storytellers, and I'm going to include the presentation of artwork. And I love to provide platforms for the poets and storytellers like we've done. And certainly with the Holy Wells Weekly Echo, going to continue have those guests, the poets, the songsters, and the storytellers. And so that isn't going to change. But in addition, artwork is going to be included because that's an expression too. Very wonderful expression that comes out of our sanctuary space. So I'm going to be added to that. So how do you think I'm going to do that? We're going to be including, and StreamYard's had this quite a while. I've wondered, how can I use it? How can I use it? It's a kind of spin the wheel giveaway. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have prizes of something of art, mainly kind of arty, very arty, beautiful greetings cards. I've actually got some in already. And most of them will be blank to add your own messages, but beautiful work. And it's something that's easy for me to obtain. And it's easy, obviously, to post off to you, no matter where you are in the world, if you happen to be the winner from this spin the wheel thing. But naturally, the arts are going to be on nature subjects, nature folklore, water, wildlife, trees, and wild plants. As I say, some beautiful stuff is coming in, both of folklore and beautiful just nature studies of creatures like foxes and pine martens and blackbirds, owls, that type of thing. So you'll love it when you actually see these when I start this up. And also, if you know artists who produce card sets, their work, let me know. And maybe you're the artist. Maybe you've got sets of cards that be suitable. And should the Patreon subscriptions go up, then I'll invest a bit more in, and we can start including prints and posters, larger art things. But for now, I'm sticking to the cards. And so also, I'm going to be putting together, if I get ahead with the Nature Folklore book writing, I'm certainly going to make some additional Holy Well Revival videos and Nature Folklore videos. They're going to be short, much shorter, very tightly themed. And I'm going to place them on Patreon because they've got a lovely video service now. And you can get them and access them. I don't know if you're like me. I'm getting really fed up with YouTube because of the adverts. No longer is it adverts with skip ads. You've got 2 or 3 adverts lined up, and you've got to watch them whether you like it or not. And that's irritating me. And I'm sure it's irritating a lot of you. And I must admit, with people that I like, they do have alternatives on Vimeo and the new Patreon video service. And I think, oh, screw the ads. I'm just going to subscribe for a couple of dollars, couple of euros. And I assume that's what you'll do as well. So I want you to enjoy these without these messy adverts, and so you can get right into the subject. So as I say, all it is for the patron, there's a link there, just a nominal euro, pound, or dollar a month. Those levels will be enough for you to qualify to watch the library of videos as they get created and build up over time. And as I say, to me, I'm inspired to do this because I'm absolutely fed up with YouTube adverts since they've got rid of the skip ads. So for now, getting my Nature Folklore books ready and out on time, that is a top priority, though I would miss not doing this Wednesday broadcast. And as I say, higher levels of Patreon subscribers, people are already on the higher level and have been regular, then these Nature Folklore books, you're just going to get them free of charge because you've already supported me and supported us. So it's not fair to start charging you for the books as well because you've made the support. So you'll be getting some. And I'll make that clear on Patreon as soon as possible who gets that and who maybe gets a discount. And so Holy Wells Weekly Echo is going to start in 2 Wednesdays' time, 6th of December. It's going to move to 8 p.m. Irish time. I hope that's convenient for you. It may seem ridiculous to launch something like this on 6th of December because most people by that time, they're going to be in full swing with their baking, the shopping, putting up their lights, cats jumping all over the Christmas tree while you try to dress the Christmas tree. And that's the time when people start attending lots of different socials. But apart from baking, for myself, apart from the baking, I don't think I'm going to be doing much of that other stuff myself. I will have really quite a real art Christmas, I suppose, with the card sets. Anyway, for the free giveaway each show, we'll have these card sets. And then by early January, when the people are back, the Christmas is done and the solstice is done and all those great things, people in January will come back. They'll be watching the live. And by then, I should be well practiced with Holy Wells Weekly Echo and with this new show and very settled in with it. In January, I might even invent a Holy Well slimming transformation program to throw in with that, because that's the other thing people start looking at early January, don't they? How can you slim by it? How can you lose weight by Holy Wells? We'll look into that one. Right. Is anybody making comments? We've got Cliff Carr here. Claire's here. And I should be by the fire there at Woodford. Hello, lovely to see you. See you here. Here you go. There you go. Great. And Cliff Carr's here. And Janet Cassidy. There we go. Maybe you need to publicize more. I do. It's amazing. I spend probably about 2 days just posting in different places where the show is. So I already, that's another thing I need to cut back on. I actually spend about 2 days setting up the publicity for each broadcast. And it does get about quite a lot on quite a few channels. I do publicity through the Facebook, through YouTube, through Meetup, through a newsletter. What else do I do? Through Patreon, of course. So I'm Twitter, as if that's going to be much good for much longer. So yes, I do as much as I can put out there. And as I say, putting all that together and explaining what's going on, it's amazing. It can take a day or two just to get it out there. But thanks for the suggestion, Janet. That's I've kind of gone that way. The one thing with the publicity as well, if people are subscribed to the Patreon, if they're subscribed to the YouTube, then they're going to get automatic reminders that there is a show coming up. So that kind of saves me a little bit. So that's one thing. When you see subscribe buttons, go for them and you'll get to know what's going on. Kathleen here. Hello, John. I don't know why these, you're coming and going. There we go. Catherine Briggs, watching from Oregon. Lovely, Catherine. Thanks very much. And I thought I saw Cliff Carr here somewhere. There he is, Cliff Carr. Good evening to you, Cliff. And Janet here, Janet Cassidy, visiting from Cape Cod. Great, brilliant. And saw it on Facebook, just so you know. Actually, Janet, that does seem to be all the way along with Nature Folklore and with the Holy Wells Revival. I must admit, it's the Facebook postings, because I post them all over the place, because I put it on my profile, then there's various groups that I've members of, because I love Facebook groups. Facebook feed can be a real pain with all the giving out and the adverts and so forth. But the groups are lovely, I find. So the groups on the things like Holy Well and Folklore, and even pagan stuff, sort of related, I let those groups know. And of course, I can't just just post stuff on these groups. There's that time participating, taking interest in what other people are doing, because that's what groups are about. So I do that to do the exchange, because I love to see what people are doing, because what they're interested in, plus that could be good for a later broadcast. So plus it's interesting, I just love the groups. So great. I think that's everyone at the moment. Anyway, next Wednesday, though, I'm still going to be 7 p.m. next Wednesday. I've got one more Holy Wells Revival show to do. I was going to do it tonight, but because of circumstances, I couldn't have time to set up the photographs and do the sort of multimedia like I normally do. But it's going to be called Saints and Altars, and it will be rounding up what I've been sharing about Holy Well tradition so far. And it'll actually have an interesting transition into the follow-up Holy Wells weekly echo. So I'm not sticking to just the saints and altars. I'm thinking about that. Why are people following the saints? Why are they putting altars there when the springs have been there for thousands of years? So that's the sort of issues I'll be going on to, because this is somewhat related to some of the things that people send me, where they're making a transition from old Holy Well transitions to modern use, modern requirements, even good clean water, even a community garden, and the things that people like to do for Sanctuary today, which will be very different to what people would have done through Holy Well, say 50 years ago, 100 years ago. But of course, there's a lot of people that want to hold those traditions from 50 to 100 years ago, even if they might be entirely useless for the people today. So that's the sort of thing, do we need to have reverence for the saints? Do we need those altars? So I'll be going into those issues. That's next Wednesday. And then after then, I do have various other Holy Well tradition subjects. But as I say, I'm going to make those and make them available to the Patreon subscribers rather than throw them onto the YouTube. So many thanks for watching this very casual and spontaneous episode. And I look forward to you returning next Wednesday for Saints and Altars. And then after then, the weekly echo shows that should be both fun, even mildly controversial. I'm going to stay away from danger zones as much as possible. So I'll try and avoid being in shock jock mode anyway. So as I say, this is very briefly a brief visit with you. I thought it would be about 10, 15 minutes, like 20. So it's probably the shortest broadcast I've ever done. So I wish you blessed days until we meet up next Wednesday or any Wednesday coming up, and also when the books are out, because when the books come out, I'm going to do 4 Super Sunday specials. The books are going to be released. I've given the dates, and I'll put them up again. Even at naturefolklore.com, I've got the dates, the release dates. They're all going to be on Mondays before Imbolc, because I go by the sidereal time, not the first of the month. So it's going to be the Monday before the sidereal, Imbolc, Monday before the Beltane one, before the Lunacer, and so on. But then after the Monday book release, I'm going to go and do as part of the book launching the following Sunday, we'll have these super live broadcasts, and also we'll have other guests showing what they're bringing out as well. So, but otherwise, I'm going to be around each Wednesday. Right, I don't see any more comments from you, so I think I might, as I say, this is very brief. As Nature Folklore and Holy Wells weekly echo, plus Natural Sanctuary support, brought to you by support of the subscribers, and that's where it is. If you do that, then you're going to get all these other extras I'm going to be doing. So thank you, subscribers, for your continued support. And that does help to cover the show's expenses, because I do have monthly subscriptions, and wear and tear, things do wear out and break down. But as I say, a level of €1, pound, or dollar a month goes a long way when you're collectively helping out, which is what you're doing. Thank you so much. So if you're watching this as a archive broadcast. There's there's another tech term, isn't there? There's a replay. Please keep the comments going, because I will check them up as I do return from time to time. Remember to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. They're certainly there on the YouTube, so you know what's coming up. Enjoy a safe days full of wonder, inspirations, enchantments that come especially from the presence of water and the lovely natural surroundings around that. So until next Wednesday, I think that's all I've got to say. Thank you so much. And I still have a theme to say bye-bye with. So thank you very much for watching this very short introduction to Holy Wells Echo. Thank you very much. Thank you.